Most people are wasting their time almost completely when they're practicing soloing, and especially melodic soloing. And that is the reason why you can practice for 10, 20 years and really, you have your scales down and you have, techniques, but you still can't bring it together. And the reason is when we practice soloing, we're not really practicing because we lack the focus that we should have when we're practicing. And the focus that you need to have is the focus that you have when you're actually good at it, when you're actually creating melodies over the chord progression in the background. And that is a special state to be in, where nothing else exists but the chord progression and the note you're playing. And of course, this is all about playing slow, you could say, because when you're playing fast, the faster you play, the less each individual note really means. So you can have like 7 chords whipping by, but if I'm playing a scale run, it doesn't really matter exactly, what note I'm playing within the scale run, because it's like a river of notes, right? But when we're talking melodic soloing, we of course play relatively slow. And when you do that, your main objective is to have a brain that is evaluating constantly what the quality of the note you're playing is. What do I mean by that? Well, if I'm playing any chord in the background, see if I can figure this new pedal board out here. So let's say, just to keep it simple again, let's say I have an A minor in the background. Right? And when I'm practicing soloing, now I only have one chord, so this is really simple, right? But I want to be acutely sensitive to how the note sounds that I'm playing up against that chord. If there are multiple chords, the discipline becomes more complex, of course, but we still do the same thing. It's the same focus. So what actually goes on in my brain when I do this is, let me see if I can stop that, is that when I hit a note, instantly it's rated from perhaps 1 to 4, right? Where 4 is just the right kind of note and 1 is ew, right? So what's the quality of the note I'm playing? So if I play this one, I would say that sounds pretty good, right? Pretty good. So that's a 3 maybe, right? Let me try another note. That's a 1, right? Or -1, right? It sounds dissonant, right? If I play another note, 2 maybe? It doesn't sound really, right? Follow me now. That's a 3, right? It's boring. It kind of doesn't do anything to the chord, right? But it's good, right? Oh. I would say now I'm really contributing to the sound of the chord. And the next one sounds also pretty good, right? So you can say that if you really want to practice melodic soloing, you should be that slow in the beginning. And as you are really acutely sensitive to how every note sounds up against the chord you're playing, then gradually that process in the brain, that evaluation process in the brain goes faster and faster. So you kind of, oh, that's nice. Ah, that's not so nice. Ah, that's really great. Oh, that's a nice note. Ah, and so you move on pretty quickly if it doesn't sound right, right? And that's how melodies are created, right? These 2 notes, that sounds really weird. Sounds okay, but right? Right? So that was pretty quickly, that was pretty rapidly that happened, but it's the same evaluation process that goes faster and faster and faster. But the prerequisite of that happening is that you're absolutely and actually in the beginning consciously focused on that. So what I see most people do is having something like this, and then we're going, right? I see we close our eyes and we try to be emotional when we play, but we don't need to be emotional. Cut that, right? Instead, we need to focus on the quality of each note that we're playing and play super slow so we can actually have an evaluation that ends in a conclusion in our brain. If you do that, then very rapidly that process will be faster and faster and faster, and you'll be able to not only play over several different chords, but also play more notes over each chord, right? But so if you have that focus when you practice soloing, with melodic soloing anyway, right? Because you can fire off blues scales. You can also play over, right? And then, right? It's a different discipline, right? But if we're talking melodic soloing, using major, minor scales and stuff like that, then you really, really, really need to be focused on just that. The second your focus goes away and you think about something else, or you just think about the technique you're using, or how the scale shape looks, or you're just trying to, imagine yourself being on a stage, then boom, you're not practicing anymore. It's gone. Nothing is happening in the brain. There's no learning going on. So if you really want to become good at melodic soloing, that is the focus to have. And it's hard in the beginning. It's really hard. It's like a Zen practice, right? You have to be focused back to the, what am I doing? What am I doing? How does that note sound? How does that note sound? And really be critical, right? It's not like if you look right about the note, then it's right. No, really be critical. How does that sound? And you train your ear to do that. You discover the colors of each note up against the chord. Don't put yourself in a place where you judge a note to be good when it's not, just because you just bend it. It might sound awful, right? And that kind of honesty with every note and sensitivity, it's what's going to bring you to melodic soloing. If you want this process to go very fast and have a specific training method that you can use with training jam tracks and covering the whole fretboard in record time, getting as much bang for your buck for every single little practice session, you want to check out the new course. With that said, I hope you'll use this strategy every single day and really start having the right focus when you practice, because that's what's going to bring you the result. You might have been practicing for 10, 20 years, but as soon as you do this and you actually start focusing on what it is that you actually want to learn, then suddenly results happen. See you in the program, I hope, or not. But if not, use the methods in these 3 videos here, and I promise you, you will get results.